Hi, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to try to explain what I did. So, this is part 2 of my Fizzarolli cosplay series, I guess is what we're going to call this. This is going to vaguely cover what I did with the dress. And the reason I say vaguely is because I have zero actual footage of me making this thing, because I'm going to be completely honest. Most of it was made at 4 in the morning the week before, even though I had started this months in advance, just because that's how it went. That's how it goes sometimes. And this was before I even considered recording and posting this stuff online, because honestly, I did not get any sort of confidence posting things that I've made on the internet until after this convention, which was my first convention. And so I didn't record it. I kind of regret that now, because this is going to be sloppy at best. That's all I can say here. So obviously I'm going as Fizzarolli. The design process was interesting. We started out with this sketch that I did on a plane ride, and that is not what happened whatsoever. I redrew the concept art after I was done with it, so this is more accurate to what it actually ended up being. The pattern for the main dress was a hodgepodge of a bunch of different pattern pieces. The front corset bit was part of a Marilyn Monroe dress pattern that I use a lot, honestly, in my costuming and just dresses in general, because it's just really flattering and I love the way it fits. I use it as a base for a lot of things. So that was the front bit, the little ruffle bit, as well as the corset part. The back was the waist up portion from this pattern from Truly Victorian. I love it. And the reason I love it so much, and I used it to draft the back, because the back doesn't look too complicated at all. Like, you could theoretically just do it without a pattern, if I'm being honest, because it's a corset. You can cinch it up a little bit. But the curve in that pattern, there's a curved seam along the back. And when I first saw that, I thought that was going to look weird and hideous and give my body like a weird shape. I was really concerned when I first was doing it, when I was making a coat. Specifically this coat, if you can see, it's hard to see in the original photos, but that's the curved back that's on the Fizzarolli costume, currently hid by a jester hat. And you can see how it makes my body look a lot better. No, it's not like a super big deal, but having something like that, at least for me, makes me feel more comfortable. So it's just a design choice I made for my own comfort. The skirt, I gotta be completely honest, I do not like how this skirt ended up. Gonna be completely honest. I wanted it to look like Anne Boleyn's skirt from 6, where it had that like very conical, I don't know how to pronounce it, but just like very rounded, exaggerated shape. And I thought that if I used stiff interfacing and followed the pattern vaguely, because I had to size it up a bunch because these hips don't lie, I thought if I followed that, I'll be able to get the same sort of curve. That did not happen. I am not really happy with how the skirt came out at all. And here's the interesting part about cosplay. I loved wearing this. I had so much fun. I would do it completely different. I would do it completely different. Do not be completely surprised if I remake it in a couple years and there's added robot legs, because that was my initial intention, to have something cool on my legs, but that did not happen. The jester hat is still my favorite part. The dress it's there. The tail was made out of a plastic tube thing with leftover red fabric and black velvet hot glued onto it. and then it was sewn into the skirt underneath it. And the reason I sewed that thing on is because hot glue does not stick forever. At the end of this, anything that was hot glued was coming off. That's just how it works. Making that tail has my second favorite story involving this cosplay. I was hot gluing that thing the night before at 4 a.m. while listening to my musical playlist, because that's what I do when I'm sewing. And the song in question that made me just like pause, like everything I was doing, was Bathing Beauty from the Phantom of the Opera sequel. There is a Phantom of the Opera sequel, by the way. It is horrible. I need to tell everyone that it exists. I love it. I love it so much. My headcanon is that Blitz knows that this musical exists and plays Bathing Beauty in the bathrooms at IMP just to annoy Moxie, okay? That is a headcanon. You cannot tell me I'm wrong. It is so terrible. I love it. But I was listening to that song. It's the worst song in the play. It's the most terrible thing you will ever hear in your life, while hot gluing a demon tail at 4:30 in the morning. And I just had to stop for a minute and be like, how did I get here? How did I get here? And if you cosplay or sew or do anything creative, you will have a lot of those how did I get here moments, and that was one of them for me. That being said, I love that tail. That thing was my emotional support tail. I was holding on to it the entire time because I did not realize the amount of people that were going to be there. It was my first con. And I did not expect the number of people being there, nor did I expect the number of people coming up to me. The sleeves, again, night before, hot glued stripes on. They were falling apart by the end of it, because that's what hot glue does. If you want things to last, you kind of have to sew the dang thing down. So I guess the long and short of it is use all the patterns you can, try your best, hot glue everything, safety pin the stuff that doesn't work, and you'll be fine. Thank you for watching this if you made it this far. I know this is not helpful in the slightest because there's literally no tutorial on this whatsoever. This is just me talking into a microphone for way too long. But yeah, this is what we got. Hopefully I'll get better at this whole recording the things I make thing. I am currently working on another Hell of a Boss cosplay. This one is going to be Stella. Here's the concept art. I don't know when this one will be finished because Halloween is coming up and I have something special and different planned for Halloween. And so I don't know when Stella will be done. It'll be done eventually. But I do have a little sneak peek of how Stella is going, so. But yeah, stick around. There'll be more Hell of a Boss and probably more Has Been coming up. Thanks again for watching.